What's going on, guys? Alex with 814EDC, and today I have sort of an overview slash review slash just getting the word out about this knife, and I'm talking about the Bridgeport Knife Co. 395. So this is a prototype from Bridgeport Knife Co., and this is their first offering. Garet, the owner and operator of it, was kind enough to send one out to me to check it out. I did not get a unboxing film of it. I did post my first short of it, so if you guys happen to see that, that was my first short, so I was pretty proud about that. But I got it in on Friday, and I'm only allowed to have it for like 4 to 5 days because we need to keep it moving to, you know, each reviewer so they have their turn to check it out and to get their content out about it, because this is going to be a pre-order in, I think, June, which we'll get to in a minute or later on. But I didn't get a video film because what happened? Oh, because I had to go on a little road trip to do something, and I got my a text message right before I left saying that a package was delivered, and this was the only thing that I was expecting. So I was like, okay, well, I'll go get it. Figured I was going to be in the car for like a total of 4 hours or so. Might as well have this to play with on the way down, and, you know, to get used to it. And that's what I did. So I got one over, and I stopped to get gas. And before I left the gas station, I ripped this open and had this to fidget with on the way down and the way back. So that is why I did not get an unboxing film, but I did get a short out because I wanted there to at least be 2 videos on my YouTube to get the word out. But yeah, I think Garet said I was one of the first ones to like discover his Instagram, which I will leave Garet's personal, and I think Garet's personal is BKCEDC on Instagram. I'll leave it below, and then Bridgeport Knife Co. also has one as well, and I think there's a website. So I'll leave all 3 links down below if you're interested in going to check one out or check it out. But yeah, I think I was talking to him about it, and I had reached out when he got the protos in, and I think we were just talking. I said, you know, how good it looked, and, you know, asked him about it and stuff like that. And he was nice enough to add me on to the reviewer list to check it out. So I think I'm the second one behind Kevin, but I'm really excited. I've had a great time with this. It's a very good knife, has a lot of good things going for it, and I'm definitely going to be picking one up when the pre-order goes live. So, you know, aesthetically, I guess I need to show the knife a little bit more than just talking into the camera. Aesthetically, you have a full titanium scales here. You have a very nice sheep's foot style blade that comes down to a thin edge. This is a D2 blade with a flat grind. I actually have a list right here he sent me that I need to print out to send to the next guy with like the changes and stuff like that. But this is in D2 and flat. And the pre-order or production is going to be in 14C28N, and it's going to have a hollow grind, which is awesome. I think those are 2 awesome changes. I have no gripe with D2 really, but 14C28N is kind of like the new hot shit in the budget world. And it just, every 14C28N that I've handled and I've used, it just seems to take a really, really good edge. So I'm a big fan of that steel now. And then everyone loves the hollow grind just for slicing and cutting purposes. So those are 2 awesome features that I think that he is making a great decision in changing. So the blade length is right about 3 inches he has on here. Obviously you have a hole for deployment. Handle length is about 4 inches. You do have a milled titanium pot clip, which functions very well. The retention on it is not great. However, I did notice that on the list he said that the clip will have increased in tension, which is awesome. Because when I was in and out of pocket, it just felt kind of not loose, but like very easy to move around and kind of slide under my pocket. So that was one thing that I was going to address. And then I did read his email that he sent me, and I noticed that was on there, which is awesome. So handle thickness is about 12 millimeters. Blade stock thickness is about 2.8 millimeters. The blade is going to be stone washed. The hardware is blasted, and the handles are stone washed titanium. The liners, it says stainless steel, so you're going to have stainless steel liners, and they are nestled into the scales, which is really nice. What else? This is being made by Kubi, which is really cool. I think this is the first like OEM knife I've had by Kubi, and they are doing a fantastic job. The tolerances on here are fantastic. You know, fit and finish is great. So yeah, the 395 is the first design in Garet's line and made by Kubi in China. Um, Bridgeport Knife Co. is run just by Garet, one person, in Southern California. And Bridgeport Knife Co. intends to produce functional and attractive designs that provide a great value. And I think he has I think he's going to be starting off with a home run here. I personally love the overall design of this. It's a little, you know, it gives me Asher vibes, kind of, if I'm being honest. I when Kevin had this in, I messaged him and I was like, how does that compare to the Asher Spear with the hole that Justin's coming out with? And he sent me some videos of, you know, comparing the two, and they are different from one another. But in my opinion, they both have some similarities, and I think that's a good thing. I think Justin has established himself with a lot of his designs, and I think he is doing very well. So for Garet's first, you know, knife design that he's putting out there to be comparable to, you know, a company that's doing very well, I think that's awesome. And that's not to say that he's copying Asher or like ripping off his designs. I see some aspects from both. Or I see some aspects from this in Asher knives and vice versa. So it's cool how you can kind of compare and contrast and just kind of, you know, take what you're seeing and add it to other pieces. And that's just something that I first noticed. But obviously this is much different than the Asher Spear of the Hole. But it's just sometimes, you know, there's some similarities that I've drawn to them, and you guys might not, but that's just how I think so. Alrighty, but yeah, so the handle scales on here are awesome. You know, they feel really well done. This is not a super lightweight knife, but I think on here, yep, it says additional weight will be removed from the liners, so it's going to be a little bit lighter. I don't have any, you know, gripe with how it is right now. You know, adds a good, what's the word I'm looking for? So how it feels right now and how kind of weighty it is kind of adds to the overall feel in the hand. And I like it. I don't think it's too heavy at all. And you do already have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cutouts on the show side, but there are none on the lock side. So I wonder if that's going to be where he's going to take some out at. But you do have some standoffs back here. The pot clip is reversible lefty and righty. And if you notice, there is no filler tab on here. That is also a change that's going to happen. In the production version, there will be a filler tab on here, which is awesome. And I really like that it sits down into the scale. Because sometimes when you have single screw clips, sorry guys, they have a tendency to kind of like rotate back and forth and like move on you very easily. And I think that he did a great job on this because he has a cutout for it, so it sits down in. So I mean, you can barely move this at all, which is awesome. I think that's the right way to do a clip when you only have a single screw up top. And it's kind of the first model that I think experienced that has done that, and I think it's fantastic. So applauding to you, Garet, for doing that. That didn't make any sense, but whatever. Yeah, the clip just doesn't have a whole lot of retention, and I know that he obviously has it in there that he's going to fix it. It just needs to, you know, be a little bit tighter your pocket to keep it from moving around so much. One thing I do love, you know, I've loved since I've opened it, is the access to the liner lock is fantastic. I mean, you just get in there, and it's so easy to bump it over with your thumb. And I know... So I have the Kubi Royal, one of Colin Macy Pierre's designs, and it's very similar to how the lock bar is here. And Kubi has just a really, you know, good sense of lock bar pressure. And I mean, it's just so easy to move out of the way. I mean, you guys can see I'm barely moving any pressure at all, and it just drops. So I really like that. I really like how he has a cutout here, because sometimes knives are too, like, you have to really shove the corner of your thumb up in there, and then it gets all torn up, and then nobody likes that. So I really like that he had that cutout on there already. You know, that makes me think that he is thinking of people who are going to be fidgeting with this knife, who are going to be using it constantly, and it just makes, you know, the ease of use through the roof, really. So What else do I want to talk about? Action. Action is awesome on here. The detent is dialed. You guys can hear it snapping back into place. But middle finger flick is absolute money. Very well done. Comes out very snappy. Thumb flick, awesome. You kind of have to shoot out with it, but that's a very common thing when you have sort of narrower holes as opposed to like a spidey hole. Because if you just shot, you can do both. You just have to find kind of, if you're gonna go up, you have to put your thumb right in the corner here, and then it flies right out. You can also come down here and not do it, but 9 times out of 10 you're gonna get it and it's gonna fly out of there. Pointer finger, you can do that as well. I actually really enjoy the slow roll in here, and I don't really enjoy the slow roll mini knives at all. So the fact that it's enjoyable to me on here should say something. It's very fun. I found myself doing this a lot in the car, just because I was, just got in the driving mode and just found myself doing this a lot. I mean, I finger flicked it probably 1,000 times on the way up and back on my trip, but slow roll was definitely utilized more than a lot of other knives that I have get slow rolled. So that's cool. But you guys can see that on the close, it just drops to your nail, and then it's not gonna drop right home. It's not a guillotine or anything like that. It is on bearings, and it's very smooth. So it's a very controlled shake. You're not gonna drop it and then just like expect it to close when you're moving the knife. But it's very fun. And I definitely can appreciate a slow, kind of controlled drop as opposed to, just one you just do this and just get your nail out of the way and it swings home. So, don't get me wrong, those are fun to fidget with as well, but I've really appreciated how, the action is, tuned to this. I don't know if Kevin took it apart. It wouldn't surprise me if he did, but there is no blade play, which one of his things on here is blade play has been addressed, but I haven't experienced any blade play in here. I don't know if Kevin did, and then Kevin, tweaked it himself. That could be, but I've had no issues on here. So what else is going to be changed? So one other big thing is the jimping up top here kind of stops here halfway across the hole. But on the production version, it's going to extend just past the deployment hole, because a lot of the time, like when you're choked up here in this choil, which we'll get to in a second, your thumb lands out here, and I think he wanted to add jimping out here for that version, or for that purpose, which is awesome. But this choil, it doesn't really look like a super usable choil, if I'm being honest with you. Like, it's not very big, it doesn't look very functional, but when you get choked up in here, it is just, this thing melts into your hand. It's super comfortable. The blade shape is very usable, very utilitarian. When you're choked back, you have an indent right here. Well, you kind of have the cutout as an indent, but it's very straight and very just minimalistic back here, and it's super comfortable in the hand. The pot clip is not sitting proud very much at all because it's a milled titanium clip, so you're not going to have a big loop to deal with, and you can barely feel it in your hands when you're choked back. Choked up is obviously a little bit better because you're kind of getting up off of the clip a little bit, but so it'll be really cool to see the jimping extended and to add a little bit more grip up top here. That's probably something that I could live without, but now that he's going to add that feature to make it longer, I think it's worth it, because I think a lot of people are going to be in this grip doing more precise cuts, and they're going to want that added jimping up there for better control. So the clip that comes on the blasted hardware version will be blasted as well. I know on his Instagram he has floated around the idea of like a black hardware set, so I don't know if he's going to be doing both versions. I hope he does, because I think I would get the black hardware. But the plunge grind will be pulled back slightly, so I apologize guys, I'm reading off my computer over here. The plunge grind will be addressed seemingly, so that is interesting. A series of letters and numbers will be added to the inside of the liners that can describe the model and the blade steel, as well as the particular run of the knife. So it'd be cool that and that's another thing that made me think about. There is no branding at all on here. I found this on the web. Siri's making her appearance. There is no branding at all on here, which is really cool. I like that the blade is sterile. You know, there's nothing on here that screams, you know, Bridgeport Knife Co. So it'll be cool that they put that on the inside of the knife, so if you happen to take it apart, it's on there somewhere, which is awesome. Again, the clip will have increased retention. I already talked about the titanium filler tab for the pot clip. Pivot will now be a T10 with a flush, non-tooled show side. So you have a, I believe, T8 on here. I don't have that out of my reach right now, but you have I think a T8 on here and a T8 on here as well. So the show side is not going to be tooled, so you only have this, which is good. I like that. Makes it just look a little bit cleaner when you don't have a tooled pivot over here. Makes because the show side is supposed to look prettier, obviously. So that's going to be a really nice addition to it. And then yeah, the additional weight will be removed from the liners. I just cannot talk tonight, guys. But overall, I've really enjoyed this. Again, shout out to you, Garet, for adding me to the list and for letting me check it out. I really do appreciate it. And I will definitely be getting one of these in the pre-order. So for pricing, I guess at the bottom of the list it answered my question about the black coated hardware clip. So there will be two options available for pre-order. You are going to have the blasted hardware and clip, which is pretty much like this version here. And you are also going to have a black coated hardware and clip option, which I think is what I'm going to go with just because it kind of stands out a little bit more. But both options are going to be in 14C28N with a stonewash blade and stonewash scales. So if you're going to get the blasted hardware and clip, it's pretty much going to look like this. It's going to be kind of just a full tie experience. But then if you get the DLC coated clip and hardware, obviously the clip's going to be black and all the hardware will be black as well, but you're still going to have a stonewash blade. So the pre-order price is going to be $118, and then once the pre-order is over and like the knives finally come out, the price will be $128. So you're going to get a $10 discount for pre-ordering, which is in my opinion a pretty good deal. And he is aiming for a mid-June pre-order, so it's not, I don't think he has a set date yet. So if you're interested in this, please go check out his website and his Instagram. He's pretty active on his Instagram from what I've seen, so I'm sure he'll be posting updates whenever he gets dates in mind and whenever he gets an idea of when he's going to release this. But for $118, I mean, you're getting a lot of value here. I think some people might potentially say, oh, $118 for 14C28N. And I personally think the 14C28N is very adequate for that price. But I feel like people are going to be like, oh, S30V, S35VN, stuff like that. But with how steels are nowadays, 14C28N, excuse me, holds a great edge, and it's a great steel. You also have to think that like you're getting a milled titanium pot clip on here. You're getting full tie scales. That's going to be milled out. You have a great liner lock access. You're getting a lot of value in this knife. So I think that there's going to be people. Obviously everyone has a critic. Anytime a new product comes out, there's going to be people that don't like it, that are going to disagree with what you do. And Garet, if you're still watching this video at this point, and hopefully that's nothing that you're worried about. Hopefully you have just decided to go with 14C28N and you're just going to go right forward with it. And I hope you do, because I hope you don't. Hopefully nobody criticizes you on it. That was just something that crossed my mind, that I could see someone maybe bitching about and saying like, oh, we should have a better steel for that price. But you just have to think of everything else that goes into it. And I have no qualms with it at all. I think it's going to be fantastic. A great worker steel, which I think is this. I mean, this knife to me just screams like a workhorse. I mean, it's a good blade shape for it. It's very comfortable in the hand. It's going to be an easy carry knife. And yeah, so I can't wait to get one. I know it's going to be probably a couple months after the pre-order before we get it in. I don't know how fast QB does it, but like I said, if you're interested, please go check him out on Instagram and his website, link down below. And like I said, he's very active on Instagram, so I'm sure once the pre-order comes and the pre-order is filled, he will be very active with keeping us up to date on like when the production run starts, when um, the different steps of when knives are made and stuff like that. So uh, yeah, I'm happy for Garet. We've only talked, or we've only been chatting, for about a month or so, but he seems like a really, awesome dude. And to see him start this all by himself, I have to give him huge props because that's just impressive. And I think that you are absolutely going to kill it on your pre-order, dude. I've already seen so many people around the community, speaking up and saying how this is such a cool model, and they can't wait to, check out and hear more about it. And I'm excited for you. So you can definitely lock me in for a pre-order spot. Just a great knife, and I'm super awesome. I'm super glad that you were awesome and that you, sent one over to me to check one out. So I will get this shipped out to, I think it goes to Neves Knives next, but I need to check out with Kevin where exactly it goes. But yeah, guys, that was kind of we're going to call this an overview because I only had the knife in for like 4 days. So I did cut, I think, a couple packages with it, and I did do, I think, like one cardboard box. So I did use it a little bit, but I obviously, couldn't carry it like for weeks at a time and get a, a great idea of it. But I think I was still able to get a good, a good understanding of the knife, and I'm very excited for it. I cannot wait. I'm gonna be sad when I send this out personally. To be honest with you, I'm gonna miss it. I've really, just grown to enjoy it, and I am very excited for the pre-order. So hopefully he comes out with a date soon, so that way we can all start saving our monies to put towards it. But you can definitely sign me up for I think black wash one, or a black clip one. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please go check out Garet's Instagram and Garet's website down below. Again, they will be linked. More information on the knife will be over there, the technical, stats and everything like that. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, please leave me a comment down below. Or if you, want to shoot me a message on Instagram, I'll be more than happy to answer in about, if it pertains to the knife and stuff like that. So, but I'm going to wrap it up. I have filmed 4 straight videos and I am starting to ramble. So again, I appreciate every single one of you. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one. Peace.